The apartment is silent, except for the rain tapping against the glass. Ryan stares at his phone, the words burning. I can't do this anymore. His chest tightens, breath shallow. Everything he believed in, love, trust, a shared future, crumbles in an instant. The emptiness around him feels infinite, suffocating. Before the storm, Ryan's world was alive with restless ambition. In a cramped garage, papers scattered, monitors glowing, he chased dreams that seemed just out of reach. Her laughter echoes in flashbacks, warm, teasing, yet tinged with doubt. She pushed him, questioned him, loved him. Every late night, every sleepless hour, their lives intertwined. Fragile, messy, beautiful. Love and ambition danced together, a delicate balance ready to be shattered. She paces the apartment, tension tightening every muscle. Ryan is gone again, lost in deadlines, calls, and endless plans. Her heart aches, not from lack of love, but from exhaustion, feeling invisible in a life that moves too fast. Leaving isn't betrayal. It's survival. The decision lingers on her lips, heavy and unavoidable. When she finally walks out the door, the echo of her absence hits Ryan like a freight train. Every dream, every late-night effort now feels hollow. Her departure doesn't just break his heart, it lights a fire, a painful catalyst that will push him to the edge and beyond. The office is silent except for the hum of a flickering fluorescent light. Papers litter the floor, half-empty coffee cups crowd the desk, and Ryan slumps in his chair, eyes hollow from sleepless nights. Each rejection email stings sharper than the last. Investors shake their heads, friends smirk politely, calling him naive. A dreamer who can't see reality. Every failure reverberates through the empty walls, amplified by the absence of her laughter, her support, her belief in him. He rubs his temples, trying to remember why he started, but the memory feels distant, almost unreachable. The world seems to mock his persistence, yet deep inside a stubborn spark refuses to die. Pain and ambition collide. Every setback burns hotter, fueling a determination he doesn't fully understand yet. Alone, abandoned, and doubted, Ryan begins to feel the weight of true struggle, the kind that either breaks you or shapes you into something unrecognizable, unstoppable. The city pulses with life. Neon lights flicker, cars rush past, laughter drifts from cafes, but Ryan moves like a ghost among it all. Faces blur, voices fade. No one notices him. No one shares his burden. Every step feels heavier, the streets endless and hollow. Night comes, and with it, the crushing silence of a world that doesn't see him. A world where no one cheers, no one believes. He passes couples holding hands, friends sharing jokes, strangers smiling, reminders of connection he no longer has. The absence of her, the one who once anchored him, who made every challenge feel lighter, echoes in his chest like a drumbeat of grief. Doubt creeps in with every quiet moment. Am I chasing dreams that will never come true? Was it all for nothing? And yet beneath the ache, a stubborn ember of defiance flickers, whispering that maybe, just maybe, survival and triumph awaits beyond the darkness. Ryan pushes open the door to a small, dimly lit coffee shop, the smell of roasted beans filling the air. The chatter around him is soft, the clinking of cups a gentle rhythm against the pounding of his thoughts. He spots his former mentor at a corner table, a face from a life that feels distant but familiar. They exchange hesitant smiles, the kind that hold years of unspoken history. As they talk, Ryan listens more than he speaks. Words tumble out from his mentor, stories of overlooked opportunities, of niches untapped, of markets waiting for someone bold enough to notice. For the first time in months, Ryan feels a spark, a clarity cutting through the fog of rejection and heartbreak. He realizes that her absence, though agonizing, has left room in his mind for vision, for focus, for strategy. He scribbles notes on a napkin, ideas flowing faster than he can write. Each line feels alive, each thought a tiny pulse of possibility. What seemed impossible in the dark of loneliness now feels tangible. Pain, abandonment, and struggle, the very forces that almost broke him, have sown the seed of a billion-dollar idea. The fire in him, quiet for so long, begins to roar. The apartment is small, cluttered with scraps of paper, open notebooks, and half-finished prototypes. Ryan sits cross-legged on the floor, a pen in one hand, a laptop glowing beside him, his brow furrowed in concentration. Outside, the city hums obliviously, unaware of the quiet storm inside this tiny room. Every heartbeat, every shiver of exhaustion fuels a determination that had lain dormant for months. He sketches diagrams, writes ideas, experiments with lines of code and rough prototypes. His heartbreak is no longer just pain, it's energy, sharp and relentless, driving him forward. He mutters under his breath, "I will prove it. I will rise," words that echo against the walls and into his own soul. Sweat drips down his face. Papers scatter as he moves with frenzied focus, yet his eyes burn with clarity. With purpose, the chaos around him mirrors the chaos within. Disorder turned into creation, despair turned into innovation. Every failure, every late night, every memory of her absence transforms into a step forward. The camera lingers on his hands, trembling yet steady, capturing the raw intensity of someone reinventing himself. This is the moment Ryan stops being broken. He begins to rise, a phoenix fueled by pain, ambition, and unwavering resolve. Days blur into nights in Ryan's world. The soft hum of his laptop becomes a constant companion, punctuated by the occasional ring of a phone or the click of a coffee cup hitting the table. He navigates endless calls with investors, each conversation a test of patience, each rejection a sharp reminder of how high the stakes are. Lines of code stretch into the early hours, fingers moving with precision born of desperation and obsession. Yet, amidst the grind, small victories begin to emerge. A client responds positively to a pitch. A prototype finally works after countless iterations. Ryan allows himself a fleeting smile, a quiet acknowledgement that progress is real, tangible. These moments shine like tiny lanterns in the long, dark tunnel he's walking, illuminating the path forward. Her absence, once unbearable, lingers in the background. He feels it in the silence of his apartment, in the lonely, coffee-fueled nights, in the space beside him where encouragement once lived. But now each triumph carries a bittersweet edge, a reminder that pain and success are intertwined. Every sleepless night, every rejection, every small win shapes him, forging a resilience and focus that no heartbreak, no absence, can ever extinguish. The first article appears online. Ryan's name in bold letters, his idea described as innovative, daring, and promising. He leans back in his chair, eyes wide, heart pounding. It's just a small mention, a ripple in the vast ocean of business news, but it feels monumental. Calls start coming in, interviews, inquiries, messages of support. Social proof begins to trickle in, each one a quiet validation of the sleepless nights, the failures, the relentless effort. He scrolls through comments, reads emails from early clients praising the product, and feels a spark of pride he hasn't known in months. This isn't about proving her wrong. It's about proving to himself that he can rise, that he can survive, that heartbreak doesn't define him. The apartment, once cold and lonely, now hums with the energy of recognition. The faint glow of laptop screens reflecting the intensity in his eyes. The tension of loss and ambition weaves through every scene. The empty chair where she once sat, juxtaposed against the growing accolades and milestones. Ryan's laughter is quiet but genuine, a sound born from victory hard-earned. He begins to understand. The pain that nearly broke him is the very force propelling him forward. The news hits like a thunderclap. Ryan's trusted partner, the one he confided in, the one he believed had his back, has taken a critical piece of the business plan and shared it with competitors. Overnight, months of work, innovation, and sacrifice teeter on the edge of collapse. The office, once filled with quiet energy and focus, now feels like a tomb of shattered dreams. Ryan stumbles back from his desk, chest tight, eyes wide, the weight of betrayal pressing down, as if the walls themselves are closing in. The echo of her departure years ago floods him. He recognizes the same sting of loss, the same hollow ache. The pain is not just professional. It's personal. Trust once given freely has been weaponized against him. He sinks into a chair, staring blankly at spreadsheets and emails, each number a reminder of what's at stake. Yet, somewhere beneath the shock, a familiar ember burns. The audience feels it too, the pulse of someone tested by life itself, facing destruction that mirrors old heartbreak. Ryan's resolve, forged in nights of loneliness and struggle, trembles but does not break. The battle isn't over. It's only evolving. The office is silent, save for the flicker of failing fluorescent lights casting long shadows across empty desks. Ryan sits slumped in a chair, shoulders heavy, eyes staring at a screen filled with dwindling numbers. Bank accounts teetering near zero, invoices unanswered, investments lost. The room feels enormous, a cavern amplifying the ache of defeat. Memories crash over him unbidden, her laughter echoing down narrow streets. Late-night talks filled with hope, promises whispered in dimly lit rooms. Every recollection is a dagger, each one reminding him of what he's lost, not just in love but in belief, in partnership, in himself. His fingers brush over scattered papers, remnants of ideas that once burned brightly, now faded and fragile. He leans back, closing his eyes, teetering on the edge of surrender. The camera moves in, capturing the raw human fragility beneath the veneer of ambition, the vulnerability behind the billionaire-in-the-making image. Viewers feel the weight of isolation, the sting of abandonment, the crushing silence of a world that seems to have moved on without him. And yet beneath despair a quiet pulse remains, a faint, stubborn heartbeat hinting that even at rock bottom, the first stirrings of a comeback are already beginning. The sun rises over the city skyline, golden light spilling across glass towers that reflect possibility. Inside a bustling office, Ryan moves with purpose, energy radiating from every step. Overnight, he has reinvented the business model, weaving lessons from betrayal and failure into a blueprint sharper and stronger than before. Screens flicker with new data, investors call, emails flood in. Validation coming in waves after months of struggle. Gone is the shadow of doubt that once haunted him. The girlfriend who left is now a memory, a catalyst rather than a chain. In her absence, Ryan has discovered something far more powerful, unshakable self-belief. He walks through the office, nodding to team members who mirror his energy, their faces alight with excitement. Prototypes hum, presentations click into place, and every small win now builds towards something monumental. Cinematically, the camera sweeps over skyscrapers, the heartbeat of the city echoing Ryan's resurgence. Close-ups capture his smile, a mix of relief, pride, and quiet triumph. The chaos of work surrounds him, but he is calm, centered, unstoppable. Pain, heartbreak, betrayal, each has been transformed into fuel. Ryan rises like a phoenix, proof that resilience and vision can turn ashes into skyscrapers and despair into power. The room explodes with energy. Flashing cameras, cheering employees, and the hum of celebration fill the once silent space. Ryan steps into the spotlight, his posture steady, eyes gleaming with a quiet confidence earned through fire and failure. Every hurdle, every sleepless night, every betrayal now feels like a stepping stone, a necessary forge that shaped the man standing here today. Global success isn't just numbers on a balance sheet, it's the faces of employees whose lives he has touched, clients whose faith he earned, and a media world eager to tell the story of a man who refused to break. He moves through the room with calm authority, shaking hands, sharing smiles, the energy infectious. The audience feels the weight of his journey, from love lost and isolation to reinvention and triumph, each moment building to this cinematic crescendo. Skyscrapers shimmer outside, reflecting the ambition and scale of his empire. Ryan pauses, taking it in, the camera lingering on his face, a blend of relief, pride, and quiet joy. Millions have followed his power, yes, but more importantly, he has reclaimed his own. Pain transformed into strength, heartbreak into vision, and abandonment into unstoppable momentum. The story proves, visually and emotionally, that resilience can turn even the deepest wounds into triumph. Ryan stands alone in the softly lit office, the hum of celebration outside now a distant echo. The camera slowly zooms in, capturing the depth in his eyes. The story of struggle, heartbreak, betrayal, and relentless perseverance etched into every line of his face. He takes a steady breath, the weight of his journey settling into quiet authority. They left. They doubted. "I rose anyway," he says, voice calm but charged with the energy of every sleepless night, every failed pitch, every lonely step that brought him here. Each word carries the sting of loss and the triumph of survival, bridging the gap between his pain and the audience's empathy. For viewers, it's more than his story. It becomes a mirror, reflecting their own battles, doubts, and moments of despair. He pauses, letting the silence speak, the empty space around him thick with possibility. "Your greatest loss can be your greatest gain," he continues, a soft smile playing on his lips, a spark of hope lighting his eyes. The screen fades to black, text appearing. Your story is waiting. Subscribe and begin your journey today. The words linger, resonating long after the video ends. Pain is not an end, it's fuel, and resilience transforms it into unstoppable power. The audience is left inspired, ready to take their first step forward.